Alright everybody, today we are going to be reviewing the Yolopark AMK Pro Series Tarn model kit with Nickel, who, I don't know who that is, because full transparency, I have not read the IDW comics, but I've always thought that this guy was super cool, so I basically just got the figure because of that. You can slide off the top of the box, and then you have this cool, like, reflective rainbow design that they do on, like, all the characters, and it shows you what parts are die-cast, and then you also have nickel on the back, nickel back. Yeah, so then you have just some other promo shots and warnings, advertisements. All right, so I'm just gonna skip all the assembly process. You basically just put the arms on and the legs and the head and stuff. It's not that hard. And here is the figure, and he is a lot bigger than some of the other AMK Pro G1 stuff that I have. So let's take a closer look at him. All right, now here is Tarn up close in a neutral stance. Right now I have the battle damaged mask on him, which I've always really liked that this guy was, his face was just the Decepticon logo, but that's not actually his face because it's just a mask. You can remove him, and then he looks like more of a normal Transformer face. Apparently I did not have that pegged in all the way. That could have been bad. All right, I guess we can just take a look at his top half first. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure I peg that in all the way. But anyways, he has these giant shoulder pad things that are like, I'm guessing it turns into like a tank because he has these like treads. Obviously this guy does not transform because these figures don't do that. But he has this backpack piece that I think I had to attach with these little antenna things. Obviously a whole bunch of pink and purple and black detail in there, and then more tread up on there. I do like the battle damage on the head sculpt there. We've got the arms with this piece, which I'm pretty sure you can attach the big cannon to either arm, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's look at his bottom half. This is kind of a weird way to do this, but anyway, so he has these little pieces that you can move around and get out of the way of the legs. These back pieces don't move though. And then yeah, you got all these detail on the legs, which actually, yeah, that you can't even see a joint there. That looks like you wouldn't be able to move that, but it just has a whole bunch of range, which is crazy. Yeah, it's like all just hidden. There's literally no joint there, but there is. And then you got these giant feet with little claws there, and pistons and different things. And yeah, you got a whole bunch of gold on the figure as well. So yeah, I really like the design of this guy, even though I don't know much of anything about him. All right, so as far as articulation goes on this guy, you have a neck joint in there, as well as the head, so you can look up about that far. You can get down pretty far as well. Obviously, turn, okay, just gonna take this off. You have, you know, side to side. Actually, you could go all the way around because there's just like a ball joint in there. And there is a little bit of pivoting as well. As far as the arms go, you can actually, there's a whole bunch of articulation here on the shoulder pad things, where you can move it up and then get out of the way so you can move the arm up decently far. Go down, and then like collapse all this back in. You can also go all the way around, except it might have been, it's kind of scary. Okay, yeah, so you got a bicep swivel up there, along with a pretty well hidden joint. Goes about that far. Then just a ball joint in the wrists with just one set of articulated hands that have, you know, two joints in these 4 fingers. Well, actually these 3 fingers, and then the pointer finger is separate, and then the thumb is on ball joint as well. Oh, you also get a butterfly up here, which you can move these panels slightly, and then you can move it forward. They only go forward though. As far as the torso goes, you can obviously twist down there. You have pretty good crunch. And not much arc back. And there's a little bit of pivoting as well. Now for the hips, you can kick forward. These things kind of get in the way. I can't get forward that much, but then you can go out very far and back slightly. You have a thigh cut and double jointed knees that are very well hidden. These giant feet, there isn't really much in the ankles. They can just like slightly move up and down a little bit, not much, but you also have a joint in there that can kind of do a little bit of a tilt, but then you also have a toe joint in there as well. Now, as far as accessories go, you obviously have his battle damage mask, but then you have a normal clean mask as well, along with a piece that you can attach to his right side in case you don't want the cannon on there. You could put it on the left, or you could just not have the cannon. And I think this is to put the cannon on his left. I haven't actually messed with this stuff, but I think you're supposed to put that on to be able to attach it, maybe, I don't know. Then you also have this base, which is quite a bit bigger than the other bases of the AMK Pro Series G1 figures, which look like this, so quite a bit bigger there, but it is still kind of the same look to it. But you also have some paint in there, and then a larger Decepticon logo than the other ones, which you can also remove. And it's also a magnet, which is used to turn on the lights of his cannon, I think the eyes, but I don't have the batteries for that. I don't think they're included, so you have this base, and then you also have a flight pole, which you can bend around and stuff, and you just screw it on, and then it attaches right into his butt. Basically all the accessories, except for this guy, who I know nothing about, but he's kind of a cool little guy. He's got all these tools on him. He's got like hammers and wrenches and stuff. He's fully plastic, and there's not much articulation with him. You can just kind of move the arms like this. The wrists are on little ball joints. The head can look up some and down pretty well, actually, and can twist side to side. And then the legs can move forward and stuff, and they can also bend. But he has this stand that you can put him on, because otherwise it's kind of hard to get him to stand because of his wheels for feet. But yeah, so one of these little tools actually broke on me. I had to glue it, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, so this one's fully plastic, so I guess he's a little more fragile. But yeah, kind of cool that they include this guy, even though I don't know anything about him. All right, here we have Tarn next to the AMK Pro, Optimus, and Megatron from, obviously, the G1 designs. And he is quite a bit taller than them and bigger overall, and he has a lot bigger cannon than Megatron. I wonder if they have beef in the comics or if they're friendly, but anyways. He stands at about a little under 9 inches. And you also have nickel right here, so yeah. These guys, I don't really know if they really go together. Maybe they do, maybe they look like this in the comics, but yeah, I just thought Tarn was super cool. He has a lot more, detail on him, I would say, because of more complicated design. But yeah, this is such a cool line, and I'm definitely gonna be getting some more of these, like that Bumblebee. So, oh, and here he is next to a Hasbro Titan's Return Soundwave. I have not collected Hasbro Transformers for a long time, but I still have this guy. And yeah, I mean, Tarn is like taller than him. I have him a little bit crouched right now, but yeah. Oh, and here he is compared to a regular 6-inch figure. Yeah, he's pretty tall. All right, so wrapping up on Tarn, I think this figure is really cool. And I'm so happy to finally have a figure of this guy that I've wanted for a long time, but I still know nothing about him. So the only thing is he keeps like falling apart at the waist, and I don't know why. I keep pushing it in as much as I can, but I guess it's not going all the way down. I don't know. That keeps like falling off, which is annoying, but once you get him into a pose, he's super cool. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.